Raman, a jolly, simple boy, always stood up for his friends, always helped them, cared for them, and sacrificed his happiness to make his friend Dheeraj happy. Even if it's lending money to taking care of his pet, listening to his endless problem, or helping him with academics or classroom assignment and examination, he did everything. But Dheeraj never had time for him, never respected him or his friendship. One day, Dheeraj said, "My relationship doesn't allow me to continue my friendship with you." Raman was shattered, distorted, depressed, and sunk in pain. The jolly nature of Raman was no more there. Life is not fair. There will be numerous moments when you will feel cheated, wronged, because life is not fair. You don't get what you deserve, you get what you take. A similar analogy can be seen when in 1957 the English East India Company began exercising control over the country. It began to transform from a trading company to a ruling force. As the British began to spread their tentacles over a large part of India, the exploitation of local resources and people began in full force. The British were concerned just about consolidating their rule and power. The British rule had a damaging effect on the social, economical, and culture and political life of Indians. We were innocent. We were compassionate. We were not deceitful. We were not aware of the sinister intentions of Britishers. And whenever you have been in that state of your life, there will be toxic people out there to use you for their good. It's like they wash their hand in gold utensils and pleasure themselves. Nobody dislikes a slave. Nobody refuses whatever they get for free. This brings us to the conclusions that people or the ruler or the oppressors will force you, will oppress you, and will break you unless you stood up for yourself, unless you refuse to fulfill their needs, unless you raise your voice. Exploitation, manipulation, and squeezing the blood of penurious, impeccable Indians was their monopoly. It was when the Gandhiji walked into the water of the Arabian Sea, he bent down and picked up a lump of salt and proved it like we can break your laws. The volunteer, all which were present over there, cheered loudly, Mahatma Gandhi ki jai. Someone shouted Vande Mataram. Everyone joined in, and Gandhi has broken the salt law. The government responded with force. They realized too late that Indians were using their salt on the military might of the Britishers. And soon, like the officers swooped down the satyagrahis in Bombay. Women volunteer bared their way, but they were pushed aside. The other formed a ring around the salt pan, and they too were pushed aside. The salt pans were destroyed, and nearly 5,000 people watched as the satyagrahis were arrested and taken away. And it was the same story all over the India. No matter how many salt pans were destroyed, how many people have been arrested, no matter, nothing happened, and we have proved that we can break the laws and we can do the things which are right for us. It was when the sepoy refused to use the rifle cartridge, which were thought to be lubricated with the grease oil with the mixture of pigs and cow, and thus the soldiers were shackled and imprisoned. But their outraged commander shot their British officers and marched on Delhi. It was when the Indian resigned their titles and boycotted the government, educational institutions, the court, the government service, foreign goods, elections, and eventually refused to pay tax. It was then when a strike began and when many people turned out to greet the Simon Commission with black flags. And when all this event happened, the similar protest occurred in the every major city where the British MPs visited. This is the land which is irrigated by the blood of our soldiers. This is the land which is not come for free. This is the land which is something which is being there for us, but we have not used it because we have been always oppressed by our oppressors. So I strongly believe this. In your life, whatever you get is something you take it. And freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressors. And this country is the living example of that. And I strongly believe that we must be demanding our freedom. And if we are not given even that, after that, we should snatch it and we should even earn from our oppressor. Thank you very much.